Good morning and welcome to today's video, which is about how to deal with old triggers. So, old triggers are exactly as it sounds. It is old. That means it is something that happens in the past and are not present in the moment. That is the first fact that we need to realize when it comes to dealing with our triggers, that it is not real what it is that we are feeling, but that it actually just is something within us. You can see it almost as an open wound that haven't had the chance to heal yet. And what we will do when it is that we are so-called working with our triggers or dealing with our triggers is that we will allow healing to occur. And we do that in the way that we choose to respond to it. So when you have an open cut, an open wound, you know that if it is that you are starting to messing with it and start to so-called fix it by, um, what do you say, by messing around in it, you can say that, then you know that the wound will not get better. What you need to do is just that it needs to stay clean and it will help clean itself. And it has also, in many cases, it's best that it gets some oxygen. So it is really important when it comes to our emotional triggers that we remember that it is the same principle with this. When it is that we are dealing with our emotional wounds that comes up, let's say that you have been very, as a child, you were very dominated by a very dominant parent. And every time you meet an authority today, it triggers that in you and you want to go against them somehow. You want to make revolt because deep inside you are still suffering from your childhood because of your dominant parent. So you never got your own voice. You never got allowed to speak or to live for yourself or whatever it may be. So this authority, it can be a boss, it can be another family member, it can be a friend or neighbor, it doesn't matter. Whenever that triggers comes, you are straight away taken back to your past. And you were triggered because of this trauma. And when the triggers come, first, this journey starts with the intellectual game. Okay? So we remember that this is not, even though it doesn't feel like this, we have to intellectually remember that this is not real. What I'm feeling right now is not real. What I'm feeling right now is something from the past. And I wouldn't be able to feel it and it wouldn't show up in my life if I wasn't somehow equipped to be able to handle it. But it is really important, it is really important that we remember that when it is that these things shows up, that we are not powerless. We may feel powerless, but we are not. What it is that what we are is that we are vulnerable. It doesn't feel good and all of that, but that doesn't mean that we are powerless. Going through the emotions and letting the feelings and emotions be as it is a part of the healing process. We have to allow the child to feel what it's feeling. We cannot decide what it's allowed to feel or not. Then again, you are there being dominant to yourself, and somehow you will make revolt to yourself in some kind of sabotage, self-sabotage. We have to always remember that the spirit, what it wants and longs for is to be free, because it is born free, and that is its nature, and it wants to be loved and loved. It wants to be love and it wants to give love. It wants just love. Because that is who it is. And when we do something that is not of those two things, freedom and love, then we make revolt somehow, some way or another, um, within ourselves, and sometimes it can even be visible in the outside. So when the triggers come, we will welcome it. We will stand and almost, you can say that you observe what is happening within you. You are um, allowing whatever needs to be felt, whatever occurs, you are allowing that to the fullest, and you are simply just present with it. And you just do your best. You do it from a place from peace and understanding and just a willingness to do something different in order to heal. And just when you have that attitude towards yourself and your own inner emotional world, if you can say that, then already there you will start to feel a sense of relief. And you will be able to feel that the wound is starting to heal. Already there, I promise you, if you do this with an open heart and with a good intention, that is what will happen. And when the triggers come, it is important to remember that we choose ourselves. We choose to not be powerless. We choose to take the full responsibility for what comes up in us. And we choose to be the parent to ourselves and to welcome us as we are in the moment without judgment. And when we let that inner process be, just with this kind of attitude, then just like a wound, it heals itself, but you don't really know exactly what happens. You just know that that is the nature of the body. You know, it heals itself because that is how it was built. And it's the same thing with our inner emotional system, that it heals itself if we allow it to be. But the thing is today, why we go around and have so many unresolved issues is because that we in the first place don't accept life as it is. We don't accept that we get traumas. We don't accept that life doesn't go as we want. We don't accept that we get hurt sometimes. We don't accept that that also is darkness in life, and that is a part of life, just as light is. Without light, darkness cannot exist, and vice versa. You know, it's existing both of them because of each other, because of contrast. You know, you can feel happy and you can feel sad, and you know the difference because of the contrast. And it is just a part of life. But when we start to embrace the wholeness and start to reevaluate the meaning of life and give up our idea what a perfect life is and just accept life as it is, then it will emerge and unfold into the perfection that it truly is. And it will take you from the inside to, to a place of freedom, which is your true home. So it is not a process that I can say exactly step by step what to do. I can give you the guidelines of your attitude, how it should be, but it's just like when you, as a wound that I said, the body will solve itself. And the same thing is with our inner emotional systems. So it is about letting go of the resistance within you, and letting everything come that needs to come, and surrender to whatever comes and go through it. Go through it. And in that, you will experience for yourself what happens. And when we're in a, you know, this, we may succeed with this sometimes, and sometimes we don't succeed with it. But again, it is always about the attitude towards it. If you want to get through something as quick as possible, just accept and do it again. Accept and do it again. You know, up again, up again, up again. Do your best and do it with an attitude of love. And you will get power from that as well, because you don't have to fight against your own judgment, which is truly harming. Um, and it doesn't give much energy left to actually um, do the work that you intended from the beginning. So that is what I wanted to say. And when we are in a situation where we get triggered by others in the outside, don't make a mess out of it and make a huge scene and all of that. Take it internal and take responsibility for your emotions and feelings. And when you feel that someone is really behaving bad, and you know that it should be dealt with somehow or another, um, take it with take it with a friend first if you're not really sure how to do this yet. Because sometimes if we take it too early in our own hands, we're just creating a mess in the outside and a lot of consequences that we don't want to, and it just gives us more headache. So yeah, remember that it is always how we choose to respond to everything that determines how we feel and think and experience the world. And also remember that you can get free from exactly everything that that you want to, but it is a matter of that you also are willing to do the work. So, yeah, that was what I was thinking about today. I hope you got something from this, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.